Every time anyone sees Pumping On, they will come away, loving the movie, getting inspired by the movie, but at the same time they're asking themselves, wow, was all of this stuff true? Was it really, did Arnold really psych out Lou Ferrigno? Did he really not go home to his father's funeral because it was just shortly before a competition? And was he really that cold that he said, well, forget that, he's dead already. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to just focus in on my competition. Is that true? I saw him hanging there afterwards, a celebration party after the Mr. Olympia, smoking a joint. Did he really smoke a joint? And did he, in fact, inhale? Is that true? Was it true that they stole Mike Katz's T-shirt? Was really the psyching out that he was doing on Lou Ferrigno, was that true? So they're walking out with a lot of questions. And so when I go around the country and promote the movie, for instance, even the 25th anniversary, when the film started playing on HBO, on Cinemax, a lot of journalists called me and says, oh, I just saw this for the first time, and asked me about all those questions. So I think it's important to clarify that there are certain things in this movie that were true, like the competition, the outcome of the competition, the training, the severity of the training, the severity of the pain, the sacrifices that needed to be made, the amount of hours we spent in the gym, the food supplements we had to take, the food that we had to eat all the time, the pounds of meat and all those kind of things. All of that is true. But there were certain things that are not true. And that's why we never call it a documentary, we call it always a docudrama. Because certain things were created in order to make it more interesting. Because it was very clear to us that the only way we could raise the money for the movie, for our Pumping On, was by making it more dramatic. All the investors always say, look, the training is terrific, what they are doing is terrific, and all this, but how much can we look at this footage of them doing squats and chin-ups and sit-ups and all this? It's boring. Even though exciting to them, but it's boring to us to watch. So therefore, let's create some drama, some conflict. Let's create a villain. Let's create a hero. Let's create the guy that has the psychological power over people. Let's create the guy the guys that fall for it and they wipe out because of it. Let's have guys putting tricks on each other in the gym when they're training, when they're 500 pounds on the back. What can they do to each other? Those are the kind of things I like to see. This is what the investors said. So we started creating those kind of moments as we went along. And we had 100 hours of footage that we created during the whole shooting of Pumping On, and then edited down to around 85 or 90 minutes. And so there we could take things in such a way that makes it then appear like I was psyching him out. I watch you.
I watch you too.
Oh, with the bob on the top of my head. I adopted, as time went on, and I saw that Lou Ferrigno could not be what was in the original intention, to make him the villain, the big guy that weighs 280 pounds, that trains secretly in a dark room in New York and works himself up to this machine, to this Hulk, and then comes to South Africa and beats the little Schwarzenegger, wipes him off the stage. That really didn't happen. They thought it would happen, or that it could happen. But then they found out that he's actually a very vulnerable guy, that he has a hearing problem, that he needs his father's assistance a lot of times, that he was a big guy, but he did not have the kind of a presence that would make him look like an evil guy that wants there to come and destroy me. So slowly we changed the whole thing and actually made him the victim, and made me the guy that pulls the tricks on him and that wipes out the competition year after year. And the more I got into that, the more I started playing that machine. And I said to myself, how can I sell the idea that I'm a machine that has no emotions, that doesn't care about any of my competitors, not even my best friend that was living with me at the time, Franco Colombo. I could care less about him. He, as I said in the movie, is just a child. And on the day of the competition, I will become his father. I say though, that was, the reality was, I loved Franco and I helped him as much. Even if it meant that he would win the competition, I would help him all the way. He was my friend, but in order to sound cold, and to sound like calculated, and like a machine, I played out this role. And I played out the role that what I would do with Lou Ferrigno. We created the things that I would psych him out. I created a scene just before the prejudging where I sat down with his father, with his mother, and with Lou Ferrigno. We all sat down. And there I was to this whole big psych-out job, telling him that I already called my mother. And she congratulated me. I told her I won 6 times Mr. Olympia. I said, she congratulated me. I said, you see, because I'm going to win later on, no matter what. And the reality of it is that, you know, I loved Lou. And there was no reason to do a psych-out job on him, because I felt 100% that I'm going to win the competition, because he was just not there at this level yet of competing. He was not ready yet to win the competition, so therefore there was no reason to psych him out. But we wanted to play it that he's really dangerous. He could wipe me out. He's huge. He's gigantic. And I have to now not only use the body, but I have to use the psychology. And I have to psych the father out, I have to psych the mother out, I have to psych Lou Ferrigno out, and I do this whole thing. And so throughout the movie we established that kind of a relationship. So there was another thing that we did.